come in and pretty much rework the structural integrity of the church, so that what you have now is far better in terms of the integrity than what it was. And as it stands, because of the way they engineered the walls, what you have is a pretty much solid structure that can withstand some pretty heavy hurricanes. We hope that we will never have to see it tested to that point, but we're glad to know that it can withstand those huge weather conditions.
And the congregation never departed from their mission to spread the gospel.
When we look at our services and whatnot, we have about 10% of the population that come to church. And so when we compare that to other areas, that is quite something to be proud of.
Chief Councillor Ken Roll, a member of St. Philip's, summed up how Inagua has rebounded since Hurricane Ike.
Well, I've seen the restoration of many homes, small businesses, even our churches and everything like that. Most of everything in Inagua now is back to almost 100% since the destruction of Ike in 2008.
And overall, Island Life was most impressed that the people of Inagua jealously guard their heritage, realizing that what they have, most Bahamians yearn for: peace, tranquility, and relative prosperity. Join Island Life next time for another look into the people, places, and things that make island living in the Bahamas special.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, reflects on longtime friend and political colleague, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe. Plus, political talks gaining momentum as Grand Bahama abuzz with by-election discussions. And a photo taken by a visitor sparks concern over the cleanliness of Grand Bahama and its future as a destination. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight as the nation grapples with the loss of iconic broadcaster and Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting and Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe. A formal announcement on official funeral arrangements is expected soon. Tonight, a close friend and political ally of Wilchcombe is reflecting on his contributions to the country and the Progressive Liberal Party. Our Jolanda Thompson-Everest joins us live now in studio with the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, with that reflections. Jolanda.
Romiko, during the general election, an unforgettable relationship blossomed between former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, and Obadiah Wilchcombe. Last evening, he emotionally shared with me how Mr. Wilchcombe's service to this country was impeccable and the love he had for Grand Bahama was certainly exemplary. Christie sharing that Wilchcombe was one of the greatest speakers in the House of Parliament, a person that was truly prepared for life and an outstanding leader in history.
In gaming, he had the opportunity to shepherd in some of the significant changes of legislation to protect the reputation of the Bahamas. A new law and that was very vigorous and comprehensive in being able to regulate the gaming industry. And so, again, he made his mark in that way. In social services, he had the opportunity to take over a ministry that had to touch the lives of every Bahamian who's in need.
Christie noting that he had many fond memories of his former cabinet minister. However, he reminisces on when he gave Mr. Wilchcombe the portfolio as Minister of Tourism for 2 consecutive terms.
We introduced sporting tourism in a way that was consistent with Obi's own involvement in sports. American football, Obi made it a point to become on friendly terms with players for the Miami Dolphins.
The former Prime Minister concluding that Mr. Wilchcombe was someone who never allowed his cabinet ministers to not recognize Grand Bahama and other family islands. And because he was someone who regularly supported those family islands, he felt obligated to assisting them in any which way he could.
He was building a school that is virtually completed and making a major contribution to education. He was a part of our building a government complex in the Holmes Rock area. I think it was, or maybe the school, but I'm trying to think now, the complex is in 8 Mile Rock. But the fact of the matter is that Obi was the primary contributor to that, and he stayed with it all the way.
Christie says he believes Mr. Wilchcombe's presence was felt in every ministry he was appointed to serve and constituency in Grand Bahama. The Right Honorable expressing that he shined in all of his portfolios, powerfully impacting every individual he came across. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson Everest.
Thanks, Yolanda. Well, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Kenneth Lewis, has issued a statement on the passing of the Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe. Shashina Roll-Farquharson has more in this report.
The statement reads, the entire faith community here on Grand Bahama mourns the sudden passing of the Minister of Social Services, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe. Our brother, Obi, was a transformational figure who served both his constituency of West End and Bimini and the Bahamas as a minister in his various portfolios. The statement continues that Minister Wilchcombe was known for his role as a noted and eloquent broadcaster. As a politician, he was fearless, an eloquent orator, gifted in so many ways, and he never forgot his roots and never lost touch with the common man. Minister Wilchcombe, the statement says, will also be remembered for the clarity of thinking, commitment to his constituency and the people of Grand Bahama and the entire Bahamas. The president states that Obi, whom he knew, was the type of politician who was willing to challenge orthodoxies. Further, his death has prompted a wave of heartfelt tributes. Reverend Lewis explains that when he heard of his death, he paused to realize that the Bahamas has lost one of its finest. However, he says that we should take comfort from the extraordinary moments we had with this man of passion, commitment, and service. The statement reads, we thank God for the blessing he brought to his family, to us on Grand Bahama, the Bahamas, and his generation. In closing, he states that on behalf of the executives of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, they offer his family, the constituency of West End and Bimini, and the entire Bahamas their prayers and heartfelt condolences and sympathy. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson.
Well, in the wake of the untimely passing of Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, discussions of a by-election are now happening throughout the country. Our Aja Kwan spoke with leaders of various political parties and joins us live now in studio. Aja, what can you tell us?
There are definitely mixed views on the topic of a by-election, Ramiko, for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini seat that is now vacant as a result of the death of former cabinet minister and MP Obi Wilchcombe. But for the Progressive Liberal Party, the chairman Fred Mitchell says, as the country is in mourning, it is inappropriate for the PLP to accept any requests or expressions of interest for a candidacy before the funeral or any formal processes in parliamentary law have begun.
There's a funeral which has to take place. When that is done, then we can start talking about what transpires. And all this stuff that you see in the public domain about this name, the next name, and who is going to do what, all of that is simply disrespectful, premature, and not something which the party should be engaging in at this point in time.
We reached out to opposition leader, the Honorable Michael Pintard, who declined to give a comment at this time. However, former broadcaster and member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini recently made this remark.
Due process is definitely going to take place. I know within the party, leadership will speak more to that. But as a former member of Parliament for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency, I can say that we will definitely be putting our best foot forward and trying to capture that seat at this time.
And for the COI, leader Lincoln Bain says their intent is to put their hat in the race, knowing that for far too long there has been a back and forth between the two major political parties. He believes that it's time for a change.
We think it's time for real meaningful change. We need to put someone in the House of Assembly, an organization, the House of Assembly, who's going to really fight for the Bahamian people. We need a voice for the people in the House of Assembly, and that's exactly what we are calling on West Grand Bahama to do.
Have you guys ratified anyone as yet to represent COI?
In the final processes of doing so. We cannot release the names right now, but I can assure you that we're going to put someone there who the people believe in and who is going to stand up and fight in the House of Assembly for the people.
Now, Ramiko, there have been some names of potential candidates for the different political parties rumored on social media. Among them were doctors, lawyers, a pastor, and even local community leaders. For now, we will have to wait and see who will get the nod for these respective parties. But one thing remains clear, that candidate certainly has some pretty big shoes to fill. Reporting live here in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant. Back to you at the desk, Ramiko.
Thanks so much for that report, Azure. Well, in other news, the Bahamas Public Service Union leadership elections held throughout the country yesterday, but there is still no official winner. However, unofficially, ZNS News has learned that Kimsley Ferguson will return to the top post. Now, yesterday, the We Care and Power team voiced their concerns on the organization of the elections and some irregularities. ZNS News does not have the final tabulations as the votes are still being tallied, but understands the results will be contested after reports that some registers were late and questions over members' eligibility to vote due to financial standing in the union. Stay tuned to the Bahamas Tonight at 7 p.m. for a full report and the latest on the BPSU election results. Well, in other news, a photo taken by a cruise passenger depicting a litter-strewn area on a property near the Freeport Harbor went viral on social media. The image has sparked concerns about the cleanliness of certain areas on the island, potentially impacting its reputation as a tourist destination. Tonight, a representative of the tourism sector is responding to the concerns raised by the tourists and the wider community.
Let me first say that I'm always pleased with the way the Freeport Harbor conducts the cleanliness of the Freeport Harbor. As you would know, in this particular case, people are not really talking about the Freeport Harbor, but they are talking about the vicinity of the Freeport Harbor.
The photograph, snapped by a guest visiting the shores, has garnered attention due to the visible litter in what should be a picturesque area near the harbor. The viral nature of the image has raised questions about the efforts in place to maintain cleanliness in key tourist spots on Grand Bahama. Senator James Turner says the area in the photograph is private property, and he has spoken to the Freeport Harbor to encourage them to speak to their neighbors.
I live in a neighborhood, and I always expect that my neighbors would take as good care of their yard as I try to take care of mine. I suspect that is the Freeport Harbor Company's feeling, because the property where this dumpster is located is not owned by the Freeport Harbor. But I have been advised that they are meeting with others and sharing with them the importance of making sure that that tourism terminal located at the Freeport Harbor truly represents a clean and decent nation.
Several Facebook users have expressed strong opinions about the state of cleanliness in Freeport. One comment emphatically suggests all cruise lines need to drop Freeport until they clean up their act. Another commenter adds, Freeport has always been a dump. A third individual shared their personal experience, stating the last time we were there, it was so dirty. Expressing regret over the isolated incident, Turner says the majority of Grand Bahama boasts pristine landscapes and a commitment to environmental sustainability.
So what is going to happen is they're going to have a conversation about that land with that landowner, and they're going to look at how we can quarantine some of the trash that people can see. The reality is whenever you're working in a commercial environment and you have a commercial dumpster, it is not going to be pretty. So I'm going to leave it up to their imagination as to how they disguise or remove or whatever they do down at the Freeport Harbor. But I have been assured that the Freeport Harbor will certainly encourage all of those in their vicinity to do as they do and take good care of the Freeport Harbor area.
Heading now into news from local police. Officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit on Grand Bahama arrested 4 adult males on Wednesday, September 27, 2023, in connection with possession of dangerous drugs. The group of men were arrested following a stop and search of a silver 2008 Buick LaCrosse on Grand Bahama Highway in the vicinity of Rocky Creek on Wednesday, September 27th at 6:25 p.m. The male occupants, all residents of Freeport ranging in ages 26 to 35 years, were subsequently arrested after a quantity of suspected marijuana was found in their possession. The suspected drugs weighed 5 ounces with an estimated street value of $300. And a second arrest was made around 9:10 p.m. near Spoonbill Loop. There, police discovered tape packages containing a quantity of suspected marijuana. A 24-year-old male was subsequently arrested. Police confiscated 47 pounds of suspected marijuana. The estimated street value of the illegal substance valued at $47,000. As we continue to mourn the passing of a beloved figure in the world of broadcasting, our very own Natalie Martinborough, community leaders come together to speak to what she meant. That story, sports, and more in the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition returns.
For it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Grand Bahama Stepping Out is now online. Visit their website. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Find them in Nassau at the top of the hill, Mackey Street. Call 394-7100 or WhatsApp 727-9098. Stepping out.
Every Sunday from noon until 4 p.m., join us at Portobello's Restaurant at the Grand Lucayan for a delicious full buffet spread. Call 373-1333 for more information.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street. Phone them at 688-9661.
It's the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Grand Bahama's National Youth Month opening service under the theme, Youth Excellence is the Standard. October 1st, 3 p.m. at Calvary Temple. Don't miss out on the amazing 20% off discount going on now until September 30th at Mo Divas, Caravel Beach, and Mo Hustle in the Tropical Commercial Center, West Mall Drive.
Hands Across Grand Bahama presents the 5th annual When Men Worship, October 3rd at New Life Family Worship Center, with guest speaker Rakino Munker, guest psalmist Alessandro Major, with your host, evangelist Elmore Smith. Don't you miss it.
We are one of the largest IT business services firms in the world, headquartered in India, with over 520,000 people out on assignment today. We have access to over 3,000 customers that are in desperate need for skilled IT talent, not just here globally, but even as the Bahamas goes through its own transformation, these are going to be incredibly useful skills to help grow the country, to help make Grand Bahama a better place.
It allows us to deal with a challenge that we have in terms of unemployment, to train Bahamians in this tech space, which has great demand around the world, to solve a brain drain issue in that there are many Bahamians in this space that are living abroad, and we would love for them to come back to Grand Bahama.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
John West Shoes is now open.
Carmichael West, Nassau, behind Wendy's.
Tech Edge brings you masterclasses available in cybersecurity, Azure cloud computing, and Android mobile app development. Space is limited. Apply by September 30th. For registration details and eligibility, visit www.techedgebahamas.com.
This program is very different from other training programs that anyone would have heard of, because this program is a part of a comprehensive and strategic ecosystem in building a tech sector. So when you think about what this program offers, it's the upskilling and the educational part of really getting the workforce available for a larger tech sector. This is not just another training program where you end with a certificate, but you get trained, you get upskilled, and you get placed in a solution or in a situation that's actually ideal for you from a professional standpoint.
With this Tech Edge program, we're now training and upskilling the local labor force. And so what that can do is improve our value proposition, make us even look more attractive to those tech and innovation companies that are looking for nearshoring opportunities. So that is how we're going to have the edge in terms of attracting new companies to Freeport in the tech and innovation space.
Welcome to H&L School Supplies and Bookstore. We carry tablets, we have your flash drives, we have your pencils, your composition books, sharpeners, geometry sets, construction paper, sketch pad, journals, pencil boxes, backpacks, practically everything that you need for back to school. And in the bookstores, we have the motivational books, the inspirational books. We have dictionaries, thesauruses, Bibles, puzzle books. So it's a wide selection of items that we have. We're at number 2 Arcade Building downtown, right across from Parking Shop, and the hours are 8:30 a.m. to 5:30, Monday to Thursday, and Friday and Saturday is 8:30 to 6.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. As we continue to mourn the passing of a beloved figure in the world of broadcasting, our very own Natalie Martinborough, community leaders come together to speak to what she meant, not only to them, but the country, as Jaquant reports.
Community leaders Cecil Thompson and Churchill Tanner Knowles sharing their reflections on our very own Natalie Martinborough, a devoted journalist who served 34 years in the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
I call Natalie any hour, any day, and she says, Mr. T, consider it done.
Cecil Thompson describes Natalie as one of his biggest cheerleaders. He reminisces on the last time trying to reach her, an attempt met with silence.
I called my number one lady, Natalie. That was on Monday. And for the first time ever, the phone never answered.
Only to discover Natalie wasn't doing well. Days later, at the very same event he was trying to reach her for, they made this announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pause for a minute of silence. I just received word that Natalie Martinborough had passed.
Natalie Martinborough passed away on Thursday, September 21st, 2023 at 8:10 p.m. in the nation's capital. Churchill Tanner Knowles remembering the times she contacted him for an interview, confessing that although there were times he didn't want to, he couldn't say no to her request.
Believe it or not, there are times I don't feel like interviewing. You know, but because of Natalie, I really did it.
They both agree that Natalie went above and beyond the call of duty.
I find her, over these many years, to be an extraordinary journalist, an excellent reporter, but beyond that, she was an extraordinary human being with an extraordinary personality.
Natalie, very, very nice person, very cordial person. Never had a harsh word for me or anybody else, as far as I know. You know, and I'm sure ZNS and Grand Bahama and the whole Freeport will miss her.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Your Thursday check on sports is next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. Obi Wilchcombe had a sports background before getting into politics. He has veteran broadcaster Ricardo Lightburn.
He always thought he was the best athlete in the world. When he played football, he thought he was the best quarterback in the world and destined for the NFL. When he played basketball, he thought he was the best point guard in the world. He's going to do this and he's going to do that. But that's what it takes when you have that kind of drive and push. But he also wanted to see our young people grow and develop. And I found that that Western District in the island was his love. And he didn't care when Susie Adley them and went to play softball or whatever, or Goon and the basketball guys went out to play, he was there. And that's what he believed in, the kind of support for our people.
Obi grew up with the Sands family as a young man. Brother and sister Bonnie Basin and Basil the Kid Sands says Obi's love for sports started at a young age.
Obi was a very, very athletic person at Mary Star, one of the best athletes at Mary Star of the C School saw.
I remember him coming to me and saying he wants to run for the president of the Basketball Association. I said, okay. Back then I used to play a little ball and had a little influence, so I said, I'll support you. You know, and he did win.
Obi also became actively involved in local sports in his early years and was a big supporter of high school sports while in frontline politics.
He loved the Miami Dolphins, he and Nat Moore and that crew. I remember him bringing the Dolphins, some of the Dolphins players to Freeport, and we played a little scrimmage game against them. So.
Always there as far as sports is concerned. Always visible, always at every game, the playoffs, the championships. He just always in sports.
Ladies and gents, that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Sometimes you want pizza vibe without the whole dang pie. Now, there's a new way to get the bold flavors of pizza whenever and wherever you want. You just got to try Pizza Hut's new melt in buffalo chicken, meat lovers, pepperoni lovers, and chicken bacon wrap for just $6.99 with that. Pizza Hut's new melts are cheesy, crispy, and loaded. Call us at 352-9191 to satisfy your pizza vibe cravings.
New this month at Island Bedding and Furniture. 5- and 7-piece dining room sets. Gorgeous natural wood dining tables and bench sets in mango, acacia, or shisham wood. And your pick of additional chairs. All new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. For the bedroom, we're all about platforms, unbelievable prices, and no box spring required. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe.
The Abaco Seventh-day Adventist District will be hosting its first Love in Action 2023 Expo on Monday, October 9, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the Murphytown Bar. Enjoy family fun with lots of food, desserts, games, and drills by our youth on Monday, October 9.
Don't miss the 25% end-of-season sale at Park & Shop this September 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, excluding underwear and red tag items.
Partnering with the Grand Bahama Port Authority and Quest directly aligns with our commitment to ensure that our students are qualified in the area of IT, computer information systems, and entrepreneurship as Grand Bahama transitions into a tech hub.
The first cohort of the Tech Edge program will consist of 50 candidates. The program will run for 8 to 12 weeks, and it will consist of 3 tracks: cybersecurity, cloud computing, and mobile app development. The program is hybrid. Most of the courses will take place online, and there will be 1 session per week at the Susan J. Wallace Community Center. Applications are open to all Bahamians with a high school diploma over the age of 18. Though a technical degree, certification, or background may help with your application, we encourage all Bahamians with the aptitude and attitude to apply for the program.
This is a public safety announcement from the Grand Bahama Power Company. Customers are reminded to ensure that a transfer switch is installed when a backup energy source, such as a generator, is being used. When a storm strikes and knocks out power to your home, you may be forced to use a backup energy source, such as solar panels or a generator. Do you know about the potential danger or how to safely use backup energy sources? There's one major risk that you should be aware of. It's called backfeed, and it can endanger you, a family member, or someone else, especially a lineman or electrician working near your property. What is backfeed? Backfeed occurs when power travels from your solar setup or generator back through the utility line, resulting in them being unknowingly re-energized. Backfeed creates a very dangerous and potentially deadly situation for line workers and the general public. If your solar system or generator isn't properly installed, the backfeed of electric current could severely injure or kill a lineman working to restore power. The best way to avoid backfeed is by installing a transfer switch. Transfer switch ensures your household isn't connected to the power grid and the backup energy source at the same time. To prevent backfeed, generators, whether permanent or portable, should never be plugged into a home's wiring or directly to the circuit breaker panel. Be sure to have a qualified, licensed electrician install your backup energy source and a transfer switch, thereby eliminating backfeed. Preventing backfeed could save a life.
Hey, I'm D'Amico Nesbitt, and welcome to Health Bites, where every week we give you a helpful tip to help you on your health and fitness journey. Today, I'm going to give you 3 signs that you need to cleanse or detox. We all know the body cleanses itself, but sometimes if you don't drink enough water or eat enough grains or healthy food, it can be slowed down. 3 signs that you need to detox. Sign number 1 is if you feel lethargic and tired all the time. Sometimes that's the toxins build up. You got a lot of waste inside in your intestines in your body, and your body can't absorb all the nutrients, so you're gonna feel tired. If you feel like that, you might be time for you to get a cleanse or detox. Sign number 2 is bloating. Sometimes you have that bloated feeling in the gut, and you wonder why you're just holding on to this water. That could be a sign that you have a lot of waste build up, but the same thing, you have toxins build up in your body. It's time to flush them out. And sign number 3 is trouble sleeping. Sometimes the same problem, if you have waste buildup and toxins, it can block your melatonin, and which is what helps your body to go to sleep. So when that occurs, it's a good idea to get past that. Thank you for tuning in, and remember we're located in the Raven Mall. We also have locations in Nassau. Stop in and check out any of our cleanse and detox products to help you get rid of that waste.
Your #1 news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Vanessa Pinder, you are our Facebook friend of the night. We say thank you for always watching, and we wish you a special happy birthday. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
In the Bahamas Tonight, the national report, BPSU unofficial results are in. A state funeral for Wilchcombe set. British Colonial takes bookings. And in sports, Cybots and police go head-to-head. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDon Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. Thanks so much for tuning in. Incumbent president of the Bahamas Public Services Union, Kimsley Ferguson, has returned to the union's top post based on unofficial results. Lloyd Allen joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Lloyd.
Well, of course, good evening, LaDon, and good evening, Bahamas. Now, ZNS News does not have the final tabulations as the voters are still being tallied, but understands the results will be contested after reports that some registers were late and questions over members' eligibility to vote due to financial standings in the union. Candidate for President John Pinder, who headed the We Care team, gave this update.
Because of the amount of irregularities that took place during that election, this election is under protest. But unofficially, him and his whole slate won the election.
Now, ZNS News does understand that at least one polling station, polls were closed beyond the 5 o'clock hour based on an agreement between union representatives. ZNS News reached out to the Department of Labor, where Registrar of Trade Unions Van Delaney shared the voters are still being counted, but could not speak to the irregularities reported during Wednesday's voting process. He acknowledged there was a possibility of the results being protested, something that has not occurred officially as yet.
They indicated that they will contest it. As a matter of fact, even before the election is over, somebody called and said, "Oh, it's got to go over," and so forth. But that's not unusual. I've been to a couple already. They have to put their complaints in writing, and they have to give their evidence. But we deal with it.
Now, the results of the Bahamas Public Service Union elections is a developing story that we will continue to follow. Live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Ladon, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. Well, the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, speaking to the issue of climate change yet again, this time to the United Nations Convention on Climate Change in Grenada. Carla Palmer reports.
As real as climate change is, with the experiences of warming oceans, rising waters, more intense hurricanes and forest fires, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is direct in his remarks at the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Thursday. He was so intentional and pointed directly at those whom he deems responsible for the accelerated global warming crisis underway.
Try as they might to skirt around the issue, the industrialized North will need to make the most sizable adjustments. It is, after all, their development which has brought us to this point.
Prime Minister Davis calling once more on our neighbors to the north, particularly the United States, to account.
We must call on our partners in the north to deliver on the commitment they made at COP15 in Copenhagen to mobilize $100 billion per year by 2021. This is the very same goal which was reiterated at COP21 in Paris and extended to 2025. To date, they have not reached this target. My friends, it makes no sense. It makes no sense shooting arrows at new targets when the bullseye of 2 decades before has yet to be hit.
For months now, Prime Minister Davis has led the charge of Caribbean leaders, speaking as a united body in having this matter addressed urgently.
As COP28 approaches, it is crucial that we, the developing countries on the front lines of the climate crisis, hold the developed world to account. Whether they honor their commitments could mean the difference between a mere disturbance and another Dorian, that devastating Category 5 superstorm, the likes of which my country had never seen and is still recovering from.
Calling for continued solidarity, Prime Minister Davis noted there is strength in unity. He says we cannot leave COP28 without the first pledge for funding identified. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
The British Colonial Hilton Hotel is currently taking bookings for its early December opening, already booking dates for the new year. The downtown property has been closed since February 15th last year, but Managing Director of the Point Complex, Craig Martin, says the property that will be hiring new staff in phases is actively preparing to welcome guests in time for the winter season.
We're taking bookings after February 1st right now, and then pretty soon we'll be taking bookings for December. So that process, our website, which is BritishColonial.com or BritishColonialNassau.com. Those websites will be turned on later this week. They're doing the final connections with the computers and a company called Synexus that will help us take the reservations. So we'll start taking reservations sometime later this week or early next week on the website. So look for that. Also on our website in BritishColonialNassau.com will be another an employment button. So it'll call the career button. So people that missed the job fair, missed something else, there's a few more bites at the apple, and we're inviting people to apply by using the website at BritishColonialNassau.com and just hit the careers buttons.
Completion of the $100 million Royal Caribbean Development Project, expected to turn the western end of Paradise Island into an envy day-away destination for its cruise ship passengers, is still 2 years away. But that isn't stopping the company from embarking on an early start to creating opportunities and additional equity for Bahamians. Corval Pyfrom reports.
Updating the press on the progress of its highly ambitious, well-publicized, unprecedented $100 million project for 17 acres of land on the western end of Paradise Island to create a world-class signature cruise line destination, Royal Beach Club President Philip Simon assured that the project was moving full steam ahead and with full support.
We believe we have an excellent product, and certainly we intend to be great neighbors, and I think there may be opportunity for partnerships in the future.
The Royal Caribbean Beach Club at Paradise Island is, according to the company's CEO Michael Bailey, the next bold adventure in its commitment to both tourism in the Bahamas and delivering memorable vacations to its guests. The project is a historic public-private partnership which enables Bahamians to own up to 49% in equity. The company is now engaging local entrepreneurs and vendors through a series of workshops to be a part of the destination experience.
This is the destination. This sets us apart from everywhere else in the world. And what better place to increase that separation in thought than to be speaking directly with Bahamians for Bahamian product.
Royal Caribbean has faced a lot of pushback since first announcing its plans to develop 17-acre property at the western end of Paradise Island. However, these exercises, and they tell us there will be lots more of them, are giving the company extra feathers in its cap. As for the participants and prospective vendors participating, well, they feel as though these exercises are giving them much-needed exposure and opportunity.
I'm working with them.
Dr. Kenneth Kemp, a local foot and ankle surgeon and now a Royal Caribbean vendor, is hoping his specially designed sandals will bring in more than just sand.
To provide orthopedic sandals that are branded with the Royal Beach Club logo. And so patients and, well, my patients, their tourists, Bahamian locals can be able to say, this is where I went, this is what I did, and they'll have that as a keepsake for the rest of their lives.
What I love about what Royal Caribbean is offering is partnership with the Bahamian people, and so you really feel like you have a voice in working alongside them.
More than 100 local vendors are expected to participate in these ongoing workshop exercises and training as Royal Caribbean looks ahead to the completion of the Beach Club at Paradise Island by summer of 2025. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Meantime, 28 Cuban nationals are currently being processed by immigration officials after being apprehended on Wednesday. The group were detained in Cistern Key, Exuma, by Defense Force Marines after a Good Samaritan spotted the vessel and later handed them over to the Defense Force. Members of the HMBS P-45 transported the group to the Coral Harbor base here in New Providence before handing them over to immigration officials for further processing. All of the migrants appeared to be in good health. The city of Miami Beach is best known to us as a ritzy coastal community where revelers go to party in famed South Beach. But the city now has a Bahamian-born top cop who told our Corval Pyfrom how he intends to tackle his job head-on.
The moment Chief Wayne Jones's father Humphrey pinned his son's new badge on him at his swearing-in ceremony, making the 54-year-old Bahamian-born cop the first black chief of police for the city of Miami Beach, sure sounds like a full-circle moment.
You know, my dad lived here as a young man in Miami, went to high school in Philadelphia, spent much of his young adult life in Nassau. And so when he moved here permanently to Miami, even though he hadn't experienced some of the things that he learned, he cautioned me about being in a couple of cities that I should not go to when I started driving as a teenager. One of those cities was Miami Beach.
27 years with the Miami Beach PD, climbing every rank, proving himself through patrols, narcotics, surviving being shot. No one doubts Chief Wayne Jones is up for this new role.
Having been born and raised in the Bahamas, and having grown up seeing teachers that look like me, police officers that look like me, doctors, lawyers, politicians that look like me, I always felt there was nothing I could not do.
Along Miami Beach, there are layers and layers of decadence. This is home to some of the world's rich and famous. It's a paradise to visitors from near and far. But beyond the splendor, the city too has its challenges. And Chief Jones says that Miami Beach, just like many other cities across the U.S., is finding itself at a crossroad.
We do have a sizable percentage of people coming here visiting every day to Miami Beach who are black people from around the world.
There are troubles with race relations both in the department and throughout the community, though the chief says these concerns may be a bit overblown.
We do really good policing here, but yet there's some residents in particular who don't feel safe when they walk on our streets, when they walk at night. And so one of my main goals is to sort of change that perception, misperception, change that narrative. And so what we've been doing the past few weeks since I took over, having more police officers visible on the streets, having more police officers walking, having more cars patrolling, having more police officers on bicycles and ATVs, sort of create this high visibility type atmosphere, and the goal of having people feel safer.
Chief Jones is also committed to leading by example and promises a relationship of mutual respect with those who serve under him and those he's sworn to serve and protect. In Miami Beach, What the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pfeiffer.
Thanks a lot, Corvell. And still to come, former Cabinet Minister Obi Wilchcombe's remains moved to Rescue Memorial Funeral Home. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Good morning, I'm Obi Wilchcombe. Welcome to our live coverage of the opening of the 1992 session of Parliament.
The truth is, I was very much involved with politics in a way because of my father. My father was, in fact, the founding member of the PLP in Grand Bahama.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you're trying to accomplish. We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since they were on sale, Monique couldn't resist things she didn't need. And neither did Bruno. Hungry for deals? You better come and satisfy that hunger for only $20 at KFC before doing something crazy. Get 8 pieces of juicy, fresh, in-store prepared KFC fried chicken and hot golden fries for only $20. A finger-licking good deal.
You can find it all at Builders Mall. From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting.
$2.39. Amalanda milk, 1 liter, 2 for $2.50. Center-cut pork chops, $2.69 per pound. Iceberg lettuce, $1.99 each. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The body of former Cabinet Minister Obi Wilchcombe was taken from the Princess Margaret Hospital's morgue to Restview Memorial Funeral Home on Robinson Road today. Wilchcombe was pronounced dead at the Rand Memorial Hospital in Freeport, Grand Bahama this past Monday and was later transported here to New Providence that evening. ZNS News team has learned that a state funeral for the former Cabinet Minister is scheduled for Friday, October 13th at Pro Cathedral of Christ the King Anglican Church in Freeport. His contributions as Minister of Tourism, his career as a journalist, and how he touched people's lives through politics is how Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, says the now deceased Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, will be remembered. Sweeting says his last conversation with Wilchcombe was Thursday when they discussed Family Island projects.
We always had a good relationship and always had jokes. He used to always be the one to bring the candies to Parliament. But we had a good relationship, and he was one of those members that encourage young people to do what you can and to make your contribution. And, you know, I used to always joke at him and say, you know, if only I could speak as well as you without paper. And then he used to always make jokes, say, you know, if you're good looking, you don't have to speak too well. But he always had that relationship.
Chairman of the Bahamas Development Bank, Senator Quinton Lightbourne, says Wilchcombe was not only a phenomenal man, but also a dynamic statesman who left his mark here in the Bahamas.
Someone that, you know, I looked up to in the political sphere, someone that was also, like myself, a young senator, progressed through the party, has left his mark on the people of West End and Bimini, and someone that I think, you know, his legacy is secured in terms of everything that he's done. I think that he has made an indelible mark in our country, and I think definitely as members of the Progressive Liberal Party is our duty to ensure that it's never forgotten and highlight the accomplishments of this statesman and someone that has contributed so much to our country in various ways.
Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association President Nicola Madden-Grigg maintains the passing of Obi Wilchcombe as a great loss for the entire Caribbean tourism sector. In addition to his distinguished service to the government and the people of his beloved Bahamas, she notes that Minister Wilchcombe also worked tirelessly to create enabling environments for private sector participation in the region's most important economic sector, tourism. The regional hotel and tourism executive concluded her statement by bidding farewell to a great son of the Caribbean whose legacy will long be remembered. Veteran broadcaster and host Gerald Miller also paying a heartfelt tribute to former Social Services Minister and Minister of Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe. Miller described Wilchcombe as a giant of a man and beloved politician who fought hard for the rights of local journalists and the nation he served.
As a reporter fresh from school, he scoured Grand Bahama from west to east, realigning, not reinventing, doing it powerfully, yet succinctly for all of us to understand and to see. As a budding politician, his mentor was Lyndon Pinling, the greatest of them all. Under Christie, he convinced the world that it is indeed better in the Bahamas. Under Brave, his philanthropy re-anchored the PLP's philosophy of social services.
Marcellus Hall joins us live in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, the Baines and Grantstown Cybots looking to put the cuffs on the police crime stoppers. We'll tell you if they get it done just ahead in sports.
The fastest fiber covering the Bahamas. Do more, play more, stream more with BTC.
We continue to take our message of fiber to the homes all around the country. Recently, BTC CEO Samira Bhatti addressed members of the Rotary Club of East Nassau on further efforts to bring fiber to homes everywhere.
At BTC, our mission is to connect communities and change lives. That resonated with me then when I was offered this position, and it resonates with me now.
The Rotary Club of East Nassau is the second oldest Rotary Club in the Bahamas after the Rotary Club of Nassau, which is our parent club. And one of the things we pride ourselves on is doing a lot of work in the community. To hear from the CEO of BTC is invaluable. To see what a large utility company like that within the country, to hear all of those things that is happening now, and a lot of the new things coming up. It's pretty valuable for us to be able to look forward to what's next and what we can do in our own businesses to help or to use those new things and the new technologies and to help other people as well.
Right now in New Providence and Grand Bahama, we're 80% fiber covered. By the end of this year, we'll be 80% fiber covered across the entire Bahamas. Grand Bahama will be 100% fiber covered by the end of this year. By the end of first half next year, New Providence, where we are, including PI, will be 100% fiber covered.
It's not long now before homes all across the country are feeling the fiber and understanding totally why we are faster, stronger, more reliable, together unstoppable. Be well and be back here next. BTC Connection.
The fastest fiber covering the Bahamas. Do more, pay more, stream more with BTC.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with a variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
Sometimes life hints at your next step, sending you signs all around, even in unexpected places, to lead you in the right direction. The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage and switch to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch your mortgage to Scotiabank. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. Paying less gives you more when you switch to Scotiabank.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Former broadcaster Lathira Dean Coakley celebrating her 50th anniversary reunion with her former classmates at Ryerson University in Canada, which is now called the Toronto Metropolitan University. Dean Coakley is the first Bahamian woman to graduate from the university with a degree in radio and television. Recalling her time at the Canadian institution, she said she was happy to reunite with her classmates after 5 decades.
I was happy to be able to be a part of the group. You know, I was only about 18 of us that actually claim. Some of us, passed on. There were some was sick. There were some, for whatever reason, couldn't make it or too far away. But the reunion, the feeling itself, at first you don't really recognize, well, everybody recognized me because I was the black one. And they even put me in the center of the pictures. But after that, we did something in television station. We did a little reenactment of a drama. We walked through the facilities. Of course, now, wow, it's like 1,000 times bigger, better, whatever, than it was with us.
Dean Coakley's former professor reflected on the changing landscape of the broadcasting industry.
No longer can you expect to work for an established organization that will hire you. In Canada, where I'm from, many students know that they have to be very entrepreneurial. And so we have some specialized courses that teach them not only the art of making television and radio programs, but also the business of producing them, the business of selling them, the business of just, production in general and distribution.
On this International Day for Universal Access to Information, a day to emphasize the importance of public to access information, the Organization for Responsible Governance laments that the country has yet to enact key Freedom of Information Act provisions they claim stalls progress before encountering dilemmas of the digital age. The organization criticizes the failure of successive administrations to enact policies covering the process to apply for and access information that they argue hampers the public's fundamental right to information. Meantime, the Bahamas National Youth Choir is approaching its 40th anniversary, where over the years they've captivated crowds by sharing the culture and heritage of the Bahamas through song and dance. But as many have passed through the halls of the BNYC, contributing positively to the country, its Alumni Association is planning a special gala themed celebrating the divas of our choir. President Robert Pinder says the big night is planned for October 7th at the Bahamar Convention Center.
We were actually formed in 1983 after 10 years of the Bahamas' independence. And during this time that the Bahamas celebrates 50 years of independence, we're celebrating 40 years. And significantly, to celebrate 40 years on any sphere is a significant one. And we thought it fitting during our 40th anniversary to celebrate the divas of our choir. A lot of the young ladies in the country that you see on the landscape singing professionally actually got their start in the National Choir.
Alumni and board member Latoya Hannah Moxie says the choir helped to make her the woman she is and encouraged others to support.
My experience was nothing shy of amazing. I have to say that I credit Cleophas Adderley partially for building the character that I have now. Being an introverted teenager, having time in the choir, it was an opportunity to build confidence, to create a voice, as well as to hone in on your talents and your skills. I sang first soprano, and that time we bonded, we were family, it's a community. Anyone is interested in attending, donating, supporting, sponsoring, they can visit our website, www.bnycalumni.org, or they can email us at info@bnyc.org.
Bahamian fashion designer Navarro Dawkins is the fourth in the industry to represent the Bahamas and compete in the Mission Catwalk Challenge and television series in Jamaica. Noted Bahamian fashion designers Theodore Elliott and David Roll were victorious in their quest for the top prize, and Dawkins hopes to follow them. During the filming of the series earlier this year, Dawkins bumped heads with fashion designers around the region and got a big opportunity to showcase his many talents.
It was a lot of pieces I had to make, and it was a lot of time restrictions, but it garnered a new creativity in me because I had to work under pressure, be creative under pressure, finish a garment completely under pressure. So honestly, you guys are in for a treat. It was a culture shock, to be honest, because as a Bahamian, we don't see how privileged we are, or we don't know how privileged we are until we're surrounded by other ones in our CARICOM countries. So seeing, and hearing their cultures and seeing the foods they make, tasting it, the way they live versus the way I live is like, wow, we have a lot to be grateful for as Bahamians.
While the finale is set for November, Dawkins says the Mission Catwalk series opens up new doors for fashion designers hoping to get their big break on the international stage.
We don't have access to Project Runway, which is more a U.S. citizen-based competition. So this is the opportunity for designers in the CARICOM nations and Bahamians to come after me to present their best. And to be critiqued, of course, on TV, it's TV, but you learn so much from it. The experience the experience I experienced was something I could not be, I can't even compare it to anything else. It's just a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I want every designer in the Bahamas, if you're aspiring, if you're emerging, if you want to get into the competition, prepare yourself. It's worth it, and start now.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
It feels great to be back in the newsroom. Ensuring that people truly understand all the issues in the country, all the things that concern them, where we are and what we are and how did we get here. So they have to be protected too. You got to protect the journalists. They have a responsibility, an awesome responsibility. Celebrate the opportunity, understand your role in the country.
Disaster strike with little to no warning. We hope for the best, but should be prepared for the worst. And you understand that an always online communication system plays a critical role in business as usual when emergencies occur. At Teleport One, we can prepare your business to operate as normal with our many voice, data, and video solutions. Contact us today and let our team ensure that you operate business as usual. 502-4550 or email sales@teleportone.com.
Enter to win with Hellmann's and Knorr. Buy Hellmann's and Knorr rice or pesticides and take your receipt to purchase on Robinson Road. You could win one of 6 prizes. Enter today.
The most important thing in life is family, and whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
First we plan, then we innovate, then we build. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we are committed to quality, to safety, and to service. We know that the road you take is just as important as your final destination. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, it is our job to make sure the road and the ride are as smooth as possible. From striping roads to building them, we are the right choice, the trusted choice, the only choice to help you build your tomorrow.
50 years of celebrating the small country that continues to do big things. This year at Character Day, we celebrate people that have love for our country. Like those eco-warriors, like those that provide care, like those that inspire. In this year of our Golden Jubilee, help us celebrate 50 people like these. Log on to characterdaybahamas.org to nominate your Bahamian Hidden Hero.
Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation has transferred 100 acres of land on Eleuthera to the Ministry of Housing to provide housing for Eleutherans. Chairman of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, Leroy Major, says the transfer will lead to the construction of 300 homes. He says that agreement was made in March or April of this year.
The government has approved the grant of 100 acres of land from BAIC to the Ministry of Housing for the development of a subdivision in Hatchet Bay to provide Eleutherans with affordable housing. BAIC continue to lease land for farming and touristic development at our industrial park in Hatchet Bay. BAIC and Eleuthera are on the move with milestone after milestone, and there is much more on the horizon.
And it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, LaDawn. We have mostly cloudy skies, temperature at 82 degrees, the relative humidity 76%. We have easterly winds at 5 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,014.0 millibars. That is 29.91 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Torquay, and Marshall, Babico, the Berry Islands, 84. Island Sound, Bimini, 85 degrees, 84 in Harbour Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 82. Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space at Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros at 83 degrees. 83 is also in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey, Georgetown, Exuma, 84 degrees. 83 in Ragged Island, Clarenstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 82. Acklands, 82. Machitan, Inagua, 84. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter in the Northwestern Islands tonight through Saturday. Light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. High tide, that will occur at 7:45 this evening. Another high tide at 8:12 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern parts of the country, winds are going to be southeast at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
Hi everyone, when heading to Florida to shop for your essentials, book your transportation with GoGoFlorida.com. The $100 cash deposit is back now on your debit card. Accepted at Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Now there are lots of options to choose from, but I like the Tesla X, the electric vehicle, because I don't have to worry about gassing up. Or the Jeep Compass seating 5 with lots of space for your luggage or shopping bags. For the best deals, book now at GoGoFlorida.com, BahamasAir.com, and also available at Bahamas Air Sales Office. Welcome to the all-new CBS Pro Store. We'll be introducing various products such as plywood, sheetrock, metal stud, and a whole array of bulk construction products. So you can expect the same high level of service that you have been receiving at CBS Bahamas. We originally opened the store in 1980 as our retail location. Hearing from our customers that they wanted us to cater more to contractors, we decided to open the CBS Pro Store here at Robinson Road. So come by and visit us at CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road, where we can help you build beautiful.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Oh, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Last night, Air Valley Gym coming to life. Baines and Grants Count Cybots trying to put the stranglehold on the police crime stoppers. Would they get it done? Well, Charles Fisher has the story.
Abel Joseph and the Cybots coming out firing on all cylinders. He's feeling it early, getting the bounce in for a big night. Brian Tucker Bain over to Giorgio and nothing but net. Cybots looking to put this one away early, up 5 at the half. Second half, the Crime Stoppers locking down on the defensive end. Outless pass to Furley on the left-hand move, getting the police back in this. The good Baptist Keithan Gray puts up a prayer and it's answered. Cybots not letting the foot off the gas, though, and there's that man again, Abel for 2 of his game-high 30. Abel was doing it all by himself. Cybots at one point led by as many as 17. Gray now from way downtown, and guess the first one was no fluke. He had 14 on the night. Not wanting to go down 3 games to zip in the best-of-7 series, police muscling their way back, adorn the bucket and the foul. And if it's working, feed the big man inside and let him go to work again, count the bucket and the foul. Off his own miss, Samar roll on the other side with the putback, and police now down. They are within 5. Dion now with the trifecta, and just like that, the Cybots lead only 2. This the big dance, and Giorgio shows Dion some 1-2 steps, and you can't guard me. And no one could guard a Dawn on the night. Man among boys taking anything he wanted. Police with the pressure on them would come back and tie this game at 79 all and heading into OT. Everyone on their feet for the extra 5 minutes. This would be a crucial call in OT. Cybots call for the goaltending. See it right there, a little pull on the net, and Crime Stoppers with the lead. Ball in the hand of the playmaker, Mark Fee, and yes, police pull within 2 games to 1 and hand Cybots their first loss of the postseason, 93-87.
At the end of the day, consistency is key. You have to stick with it, you know. You got to shoot shots. In the first half, the shots wasn't falling. You know, at a point in the game, I got to hang my head down and say, you know, get disappointed, get depressed. But I stuck with it, and I was resilient, and I keep fighting. I just took what the defense give me. The shot open, if you're too far, I just pull it, and the shots start falling, so God is good.
After the first 2 games of the series, our guys was playing lackadaisical on defense. And that energy, it wasn't no energy at all. Defensively, they were moving a bit too slow. The energy came with us, and we kept it all night. I love the fact that they played awesome defense tonight. Even if we didn't walk away with the win, I would have been disappointed, but I would have been happy to see that my guys came out and they dug deep, and they played defense. and that's what we needed.
For Coach Wade Watson, this game all done with. Let's shake it off and move on.
Hey, sometimes you have a bad night, sometimes you have a good night. You had a bad night tonight. Hats off to the Crime Stoppers. They won tonight. We're going to come back on Friday night and try to take a 3-1 seriously. You know, it's basketball in the Bahamas. That's the way it goes.
Game 4 all set for Friday. Will Crime Stoppers even at 2-2, or will Cyborgs take a commanding 3-1 lead? AF Adley, the place to be.
All right, thanks a lot, Fisher. BISS softball action yesterday, senior boys. Great showdown between the QC Comets and the St. John's Giants. This one goes down to the final at-bat for the Comets. They get the walk-off double, celebrating the victory. 16-15 ends up being the final score.
Coming into the game, had a lot of spirit. Morale dropped a bit. We came back, beat them bad. That last walk-off, I have to say, it was all thanks to my coach telling me exactly, stay back. If you lob, sit and hit the ball.
Comets Junior girls, much easier time of things. They took down the St. Anne's Blue Waves in blowout fashion, and this one, final score in Mercy Rule fashion, 14-1. Your final score.
I think that our team played very well. We showed what we were capable of, and we showed that we practice every day. And even though we won, we're still going to be practicing, showing that we can do it.
I think our team did pretty well. We definitely showed what we were practicing. We put a lot of effort, and I just know that we had fun, and everything that we have been practicing came out today.
Our team was amazing, and we did what we had to do to get that win.
I commend our communication and our love for the sport. That's what got us to win.
University of the Bahamas' second annual cross-country set for Saturday, starting at 6 o'clock in the morning in 7 age divisions for men and women. The under-9, under-11 divisions will run 1 kilometer. The under-13 and under-15 divisions will run 2 kilometers. And the open under-17 and under-20 divisions will run 3 kilometers. The course is set for the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center, starting and ending near the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. First through third will pick up trophies, and fourth through 10th will receive medals. There will also be overall team trophies. Head coach Edna Rule excited about a new division this year.
We added a mixed team, so you can have 2 males, 2 females that can win an overall division trophy. So, of course, how it works, if your team with the 2 males, 2 females comes in before, the forerunners comes in before the others as a team, you would win the overall division. So that's an additional one that we added this year. And, you know, again, we're excited about this, our second annual cross-country event. Last year was a great success. We had about 700 participants. We're anticipating at least 1,000 this year, based on those who would have missed last year want to be a part of it, and those who was excited about last year coming this year.
On to some minor league baseball, just like B.J. Murray did the night before. Another Bahamian leading his team to a championship. Christian Robinson, the D-backs number 11 prospect, registering the team's only multi-hit night. 2-run homer, a single, and 2 runs scored. He batted into to lead Amarillo's Sod Poodles to its second Texas League championship in 4 years, a 9-1 decisive Game 3 win over Arkansas. And there it is, your Thursday night check on sports. Don't go anywhere. We do have that final look at the weather. That is coming up.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Hello, I'm Sister Yosufiu, and I'm here to welcome you to General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. If this is your first time tuning in, here's what you can expect. General Conference is a global gathering for followers of Jesus Christ. Everyone is invited to tune in and hear messages of inspiration, peace, and hope from leaders of our church. There's also some beautiful music. In every 2-hour session, you can look forward to an opening and closing prayer, 3 or 4 hymns, and several brief talks from speakers who come from all over the world. We all love reading the words of Jesus in the scriptures, and General Conference is a special opportunity to hear more of his teachings from living representatives of Jesus Christ. In this session, you'll hear from men and women teaching about the joy that comes from living the Savior's gospel. With millions of people watching worldwide, it's like attending church, but with a global family. General Conference is also a great opportunity to find direction from God. As you watch or listen to the speakers, you may receive feelings or insights unique to you and your personal circumstances. You may consider praying to God with a specific question in mind and taking notes on what you hear during conference. And if you don't catch something while you're watching, don't worry. This session is available online so you can revisit anything you missed the first time around. Now we're just about to get started. If you have any questions throughout this session, missionaries like me are here to help. You can contact us at comeinToChrist.org. Having said all that, thanks for watching. We're glad you're joining us for this session of General Conference.
What's a Sand Dollar rebate? It's the digital Bahamian dollar back in your wallet. Top up any Sand Dollar enabled digital wallet and make a purchase of $50 or more in Sand Dollars at Super Value, Quality Supermarkets, Solomon's Fresh Market, or Sawyer's Fresh Market. Get up to $25 back when you redeem your rebate online between September 15th and October 15th at sanddollar.bs/rebate. Rules and restrictions apply.
When you combine decadence, luxury, passion, and attention to detail, you've described Café Chenny, Noël, and Patisserie. Signature authentic French macarons, croissants, pastries for breakfast and lunch will take you on a European Epicurean journey. Enjoy your favorite handcrafted cocktails, coffees, cappuccinos, espressos, and lattes. Life is sweet at Café Chenny, Noël.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics busy again this evening. We have Philippe continues to hold on to tropical storm status, moving now very slowly towards the west at about 2 miles per hour, and we expect that it could dissipate sometime over the weekend to just a remnant low pressure system. And then we have the newly minted tropical storm just formed around 5 o'clock this afternoon. It's now moving towards the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds, yes, that's holding at 40 miles per hour. And we expect some gradual intensification over the next couple of days. But the good news is it will remain below hurricane intensity and away from landmass over the open waters of the Atlantic. Closer to home, we have that troughing, that persistent troughing remains across the northwest Bahamas. And what that means is that for the next several days, there will continue to be pockets of showers and thunderstorms all parts of the northwest Bahamas. Our forecast for tonight, we're looking at rather cloudy, very warm, low temperature around 79 degrees. And tomorrow, some cloud and sunshine turning cloudy with a couple of showers and thunderstorms developing later in the afternoon. High temperature tomorrow getting up to 89 degrees. And the extended weather forecast looking like this. As you can see, those icons showing thunderstorms in the forecast right into the middle part of next week. So it'll be a nice idea to just keep those rain gears handy. Temperature-wise, no 90s out there, keeping you just below the 90-degree mark during the daytime. Nighttime temperature still relatively warm, with the nighttime low temperatures in the upper 70s. LaDawn?
Thanks a lot, Basil. And finally in news tonight, the love of reading celebrated at St. Thomas More Primary today as the school hosted Literacy Day and a reading expo on the school's campus. Here's Fern Carey.
The excitement at St. Thomas More Primary School was tangible Thursday as students dressed up in their favorite storybook characters and took photos with their reading mascot, all part of activities marking Literacy Day at the school. Grandparents also led the youngsters on new and exciting adventures as they read from the pages of their favorite storybooks in the classroom. The initiative driving home the message that reading is fun.
Reading takes you on a journey. It gives you excitement, imagination, and improves your vocabulary. And so we're excited now to celebrate reading on our campus today at St. Thomas More School.
The students also expressed their love of reading.
I like how it has characteristics and it gives you information. What I love about reading is that it feels like you're in a whole different world, and when you read, you explore and you just have fun.
It's make my imaginations go wild and make me feel like I'm in a different world.
I like Diary of a Wimpy Kid because it have a lot of pictures in it.
What I love about reading is you get to learn, and it inspires you to go up and do your dreams.
Reading specialist Tamika Hanner indicated that the weeks of preparation for the Literacy and Reading Expo Day was well worth it.
It took a lot of preparation. Everyone came together. It's a teamwork approach. All staff members are doing their best to launch our special day, which is Literacy Day, under the theme celebrating family love. Family loved through reading. So we're enjoying everyone today, especially our grandparents that we're highlighting.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Good story there, Fern. Thanks a lot. Well, that does it for the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network. The